Hi fellow crafters. In today's video, I'm going to show you a fun fold technique that is perfect for the holiday season this year. It is lightweight for mailing, and it will gently surprise anyone who gets this card from you. I'm going to create a Christmas card idea using the Peaceful Cabin bundle and the beautiful Peaceful Place Designer Series paper. Be sure to watch all the way through the video for my bonus tips and design ideas, and for a second idea with a little bit of a twist on the layout. Shall we get started? Hey everyone, I'm Terry from nutsAboutStamping.com. I love sharing techniques and project ideas for rubber stamping, paper crafting, and scrapbooking with you each week. Be sure to hit that red subscribe button and the bell beside it so that you'll be the first to be notified when my next video goes live. Now, let's have fun with this super easy fun fold.
First, let's have a quick look at the Peaceful Cabin bundle, which is the stamp set and the matching dies. The moment I saw this bundle in the catalog, I knew I had to have it because when I was growing up in Canada, as a little girl, my family built a cabin in the woods, and I spent many a summer and occasionally some winter time at this cabin. And the moment that I saw this particular image and the trees, I thought, oh my gosh, this reminds me of my childhood. I think it would make such a fun set, not only for Christmas, but for scrapbook pages, for all sorts of occasions. This is the perfect stamp set for me. So the Peaceful Cabin stamp set, I think, is so tranquil. You can use the stamps separately. I think the phrases are perfect for other kinds of cards and matching them with other products that I have on hand. Or you can pair all of these images together to create a peaceful wintry scene. Now, the stamp set and matching dies are paired with the Peaceful Place Designer Series paper. This paper helps you keep that tranquil mood on your cards because it has these calming nature scenes and muted color palette to each of the designs. So one side is more patterned, like so, but the other side has these beautiful scenes, which, if you scrapbook, would be really cool. So let me just show you some of the designs. There's also this silver foil in most of the patterns, at least on one side of most of the patterns, which also adds such a beautiful sparkling or glimmery touch to the patterns. So for today's fun fold technique, I'm going to use the bundle and the paper. So let's get started. My card base is going to be basic white, and what I want to do is bring in my Simply Scored, and I want to lay it the long way, and I'm going to score it at 4 1/4, and I'm going to score it again at 5 1/2. Whoop, let me try this side, there we go. So 4 1/4 and 5 1/2, and that's really all you need to do. This technique is so simple, I just love it. So I'm going to fold on the 5 1/2. Let me bring in my bone folder and crease it. And then at the other mark, which was the 4 1/4, I'm going to fold it the other way and then crease it with my bone folder. And that's what makes this fun fold. It's kind of like a book binding technique or a book fold technique. You may have seen it out there before. And I think it's a really fun technique. I had actually bookmarked some card ideas to share with you this technique as we got closer to the winter season, because I love this fun fold because you don't have to add a lot of layers to it. So it makes it very light for mailing. And most of my Christmas cards this year are going to be mailed. So now I'm going to take a piece of basic white cardstock, and I'm going to take the cabin image from the Peaceful Cabin stamp set. I'm going to ink it up using basic gray, and I'm going to stamp it down I'm going to stamp it down towards the top of this piece of cardstock, like so. Oh, I just love this image. I think it's so fun. Now, I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I'm going to use one of the dies from the matching dies, the cabin dies. So I'm going to have to turn my cardstock this way because the die is quite long. Here it is here. So here's the die, and it goes perfectly around the top part of the cabin. So let me get this set up, and then I'll run it through. Like so. And look at that. It cuts out around the cabin and a couple of little holes in it as well, which makes it more of a 3D effect. Okay, so that's all I'm going to use my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine for. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to bring in this Merry Christmas phrase. Now, this phrase is from the Poinsettia stamp set, and I like it because of its length. I thought it would be nice to run it across the front of this particular layer. So I'm going to ink this up and stamp it down. Okay, there we go. Like so. Love it. All right, now I'm going to slide this to the side for a second, and I'm going to bring in this book fold that we have ready. And I have a piece of the Peaceful Place Designer Series paper, and I am going to adhere that to the front. Like so. And then I have another pattern in the same pack of Designer Series paper. It's the pattern with the cabin and the little fox. And I thought that would be really fun because I'm going to be putting the cabin stamped image on there in a second. So I'm going to add some adhesive. Make sure my cabin's right side up. Like so. And then I've got this piece here, which I think I'll put down towards the bottom of the card front so that I have all of the snowflakes in the background, and I'm going to adhere it flat. Like so. So it's taking shape nicely. Now it's time to think about adding some embellishments. I decided that I would use some basic rhinestone jewels because I would like to add a little bit of bling to the front of my card. So I'm going to put some of the jewels on top of the snowflake images that is in the Designer Series paper. So there are some larger snowflakes in this pattern, and I thought it would be fun to add some rhinestones. Don't think you can really see them on the video. I've got one there, 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 and I think I'll add one more towards the top. And then, there we go, like so. Now, for the inside of my card, what I want to do is open it up, and I want to make it like it is a book that has been bound. So I'm going to add some adhesive so that when my family member opens this card, it's got this nice book binding feel. Now from the stamp set, I have this phrase that says, "May you enjoy the peace of this beautiful season." And I'm going to keep to the monochromatic tone of just the grays on my card. I'm going to ink this up stamp it down on the inside. And then one final touch is I have another piece. It's actually the back side of that Cabin Designer Series paper. And I want to add some adhesive and I love to add Designer Series paper on the inside of my cards, especially these tiny scraps that we often have left over, because I think it just adds a beautiful final touch. And there we go. Such a simple Christmas card idea with a really fun technique. And like I said at the beginning of the video, you can make a bunch of these in just an afternoon and send them off, and you won't have to pay a lot of extra postage. I don't think you'd have to pay any extra postage. Would you like to see another peaceful cabin idea? If so, why don't you bookmark this video and watch it next? Now, at the beginning of the video, I did promise that I would show you a second card idea, one with a little bit of a twist. But before I do that, let me show you a card idea with the same layout. I used my Poinsettia Petals stamp set and Poinsettia dies and the Tidings of Christmas Designer Series paper to create a second Christmas card idea with a little bit of a fancier look perhaps, although I really do love this cabin dies and the stamp set. So I layered my poinsettias. I used the same phrase. I used some of the evening evergreen ribbon. And then I haven't decorated the inside yet. That's on its way. When I get ready to mail the Christmas card, I'll design the inside for the person that will be receiving this card. So here is two cards. Here are two cards using the exact same layout. But you can take this layout and you can turn it to become a portrait layout, which is what I did here. I used my Eden's Garden bundle, and I used the matching Designer Series paper and this cotton paper and die cut out the image and cut it into pieces to create a wreath. I used a phrase that's in the Eden's Garden stamp set, and I used the soft succulent ribbon. And again, I have not decorated the inside yet, but you can take this layout, the landscape layout, turn it, and make it a portrait layout. So now you have three different card ideas using the exact same layout or fun fold technique. If you would like a listing of the supplies that I used and the measurements for this particular card, head on over to my blog, www.nutsaboutstamping.com. And did you know that I sell the products that I use to make the cards that I share with you each week? I have two online stores, some for some countries in Europe and an online store if you live in the US, and I would love to have your business. While you're on my blog, consider joining my free mailing list to get insider tips and ideas to take your card making to the next level. I'll leave a link so that you can subscribe to my free newsletters in the description box below. And would you like to see more peaceful cabin card ideas? If so, just say yes in the comment section below and I'll design more cards to share with you. I'm Terry. I'm nuts about stamping. I hope you'll try this fun fold layout technique someday soon. Bye for now.